The cadastre is an instrument for the identification and measurement of the properties that integrate a territory. In Colombia, this cadastre is part of the land administration, but it is not part of the registration system. There is a closer relationship between the cadastral authorities and the superintendents of notary and register, because this one is the responsible for the register rights over properties, which fiscal identification corresponds to the cadastre. The IGAC and the decentralized cadastres like Cali, Bogotá, Medellín, and Antioquia are responsible of the inventory of the fiscal, judicial, economical, and fiscal information of the property in the country. The property that is focus of this video is one that is located in the center of the city of Bogotá, in the neighborhood called La Candelaria, a typical place for tourism and restaurants. The actual place is a chapel named Ermita San Miguel del Principe, near the tourist place of El Chorro de Quevedo. This chapel was built in 1969, with demolition parts, and it was based on the Humillero Chapel. Land is a synonym of richness and wealth, and for some Colombians a means of income or savings. So there are procedures that need to be made to administrate this land. There is a certificate used by the Superintendent of Notary and Registry called Certificate of Tradition and Freedom. This shows the tradition of ownership of the property, that is how the land has been changing of owners during time. Also, it shows the number of the matricula inmobiliaria and the notary where the land is registered and where the public deed of the property is found. The public deed is a document that is signed by a public notary, and it specifies a fact or a right in the document that gives faith over the jurisdictional capacity of the people that are signing the document. The public deed of a property is certifying to a notary that the owner of the property is a specific person or a society. The procedure to get the last copy of the public deed is to first have the number of the document and the year when the document was made. With this information, you go to a notary and then make a copy in a notarial paper. The cost of this procedure is 600 pesos the photocopy and 4,200 pesos the notary paper. The procedures might change from a notary to another, but in the Notary 9 of Bogotá is made this way. This procedure changes when you need to sell or mortgage the property. If, for example, it's for selling, you need the public deed, certificate of tradition and freedom, property tax of the current year, piece and safe of valorization, piece and safe of administration if it's a public property, identification of the current owner, and identification of the buyers. With these requirements, a new public deed can be made. The cost of this procedure depends on the property value, but if, for example, is the property assessed in 300 million pesos, the notarial expense go up to 4,250,000 pesos and 1% for the registration and benefit. Because the land involves a large amount of money, there should be done risk studies of the land. Colombia is situated in a high seismic and volcanic activity zone. It is also a place prone to erosion, landslides, floods, avalanches, overflows, and forest fires. Bogotá is not the exception. One of the important risks that the property Ermita San Miguel has is that in storms due to the combined sewerage, this mixes up in rainwater, exceeding the capacity of the pipelines, causing floods. But as we can see in the image, the property is not on a risk zone of overflows or inundations. Another important risk is forest fires. They are unusual, but they might happen. Being beside a forest has its perks, like breathing a clean air, but also with the risk of a fire. An earthquake in La Candelaria, that is a zone of Piedemonte, might have a middle risk of liquefaction. Mass movement can happen, but is less probable. In the picture, we can see that it has minimum risk of mass movement in the zone, but that there has been cases of gravity movement. All these risks and paperwork need to be taken into account before engaging with a property in Colombia.